Hi folks, welcome back to We the People. I'm Dave Gallus, your host, and we have a very special guest today, Bill Beerman, who's running for Las Cruces City Council, District 6. But before we get started, I want to let you know about 3A Research here in Las Cruces. They do clinical trial studies that are coming on the market. They help people out. Right now they're doing a study, I think it's on plaque psoriasis or skin condition. So really, they're helping people out. You can get compensated for your time and your travel. They compensate you financially. So give them a call at 575-288-1646. And we'll be right back after this, and we'll get started with Bill Beerman for City Council District 6. Hi folks, I'm Dave Gallus. This is your 3A Research Minute. We're here with CEO Michael Raucci of 3A Research here in Las Cruces. Michael, could you tell me the procedure of a trial?
Sure, Dave. A participant will come to our office to see if they qualify for a study. Once they qualify for a study, they will be asked to do evaluations throughout the course of a 3-month period or longer, and they'll come in periodically to see their progress and make sure they're safe and they're okay.
Michael, could you tell us the location here in Las Cruces? Where's that?
We are located in the heart of Las Cruces, 530 North Telshore Boulevard, Suite B. We have 2 locations in El Paso, and we've done so well, we had to extend ourselves here to this great community. So far, Las Cruces has been very responsive, and we love Las Cruces, so excited to be here.
Thanks, Michael. I hope the folks take advantage of this opportunity. That's been your 3A Research Minute here in Las Cruces. See you next time. Hi folks, welcome back to We the People. I'm Dave Gallus, your host, and today we are here with Bill Beerman, running for Las Cruces City Council District 6. Bill, welcome.
Thank you, Dave.
This fellow's been impressing me all along, but we want to find out all about Bill Beerman. So Bill, I guess, first off, City Council District 6 is east of 25 and south of 70. And what would that area be called?
Well, there's Sonoma Ranch, and then there's the Foothills neighborhood.
Okay.
And some little parts of the district.
Pretty important area in Las Cruces.
I think so.
Okay, well that's good. We got to keep that in mind. Okay, so let's get your background. Now you've been married. How long you been married?
31 years.
Wow, that's a commitment right there.
Yes.
And you've had 4 boys and a girl, I think it is?
Correct.
And your wife I met before, Martha, and very Hispanic. So you are actually Hispanic by marriage.
Yeah, I like to say that, especially when I attend the meetings of the Hispanic Outreach Group.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm glad you do that. No, it's a good group of people. So let's see. So, all right, how about your professional career? Now, you spent time, I think, near where I was in Philadelphia. You were in Haddon Heights, New Jersey, I think?
Yes.
But let me have your professional background.
Well, I went to Penn State School of Journalism. And when I came out of there, I got a job as the only white reporter for the Pittsburgh Courier newspaper, which is a black newspaper. Oh,
okay.
And I ended up working 8 years full-time in newspapers. Very arduous work, 60, 70 hours a week.
Wow.
And I was the managing editor of a daily newspaper when I left the newspaper business.
Okay.
And during the time I worked full-time in newspapers, I covered dozens of municipalities and wrote probably thousands of stories about municipal government.
So you were anybody that's writing stories, especially about cities and municipalities, you have to do some research to do that. So I would say you're probably a reporter, an investigative reporter, although I know that's a professional term, but still, you had to do your homework and do it right. Otherwise, you wouldn't be working for the paper.
Absolutely. It was a lot of hard work, and I'm kind of proud that I never got sued for libel.
Wow, that's saying something.
You know,
well, you were also a controller, I believe.
I was a certified internal auditor.
Okay, auditor.
Yeah, after I left the news business, I went to work for the U.S. Navy Audit Service. Oh. I worked for them for 20 years.
Now, what is an auditor? What does an auditor do?
Well, the best way to explain it is when students go to accounting, go to college and major in accounting,
Okay.
they'll study a couple of semesters of financial accounting and a couple of semesters of management accounting,
Okay.
along with cost accounting, tax accounting, those kinds of things. But the internal auditors, they focus on management accounting. For example, a CPA, financial accountant, will issue a certification saying that the company is fairly and accurately presenting its financial condition. And they'll say, the company said they made 500 million, and they really did make 500 million.
You
a
verify that.
But a management accountant will say, the company made 500 million, but they could have made 600 if they had done a better job of managing.
So your quality control as well as monitoring how finances
That's one way
go.
of looking at it.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I wish you would do some of that with City Council in Las Cruces, because we're way out of control. I guess is that why you're running? I guess that's
part of the reason. The quick answer is I'm running because the city is out of control.
financially.
But,
well, in many ways.
Well, in many ways.
Yeah, I hear you.
And
So I would say that you're the perfect person to get the finances to make a good accountability for the money that we spend in our taxes and other revenues that we have coming in. So
yeah, I think between my newspaper background and my auditing background, I have the perfect credentials. It's what City Council needs right now.
I don't think we have any professional background in financial accountability up on that dais now, and we certainly need it.
Not that I know of.
Well, okay. So what factors do you think are the most important ones and the most glaring problems that we have in City Council now?
Well, there's just a general lack of management professionalism that leads to a lot of the problems in City Hall. They kind of manifest themselves out into the districts, like my district,
Right.
and in a lot of different ways. And one big problem that we have now is defunding the police.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
The city officials will say they're not defunding the police, but the facts show otherwise. Since 2018, they've actually cut the number of budgeted police positions by 10.5 full-time equivalents, while they were expanding the general civilian payroll by 89 positions.
Wait a minute, let me get this right. They have reduced the number of policemen, active policemen, by 10.5, and they've increased the number of city government employees by 89?
Correct.
I was a policeman in Philadelphia, and what you need is police on the street. I mean, our Democratic-controlled city council, county commission, state government, it's all about defunding the police. We've got open borders. People are just coming across. They want to take our guns away. They've put resolutions to send to Santa Fe to say that we want to ban semi-automatic weapons, which is all the weapons. That the crime is increasing in Las Cruces, and they are basically defunding the police. It's not a matter of, oh, they'll say they didn't budget for more police. So they're defunding them when they're raising other things. But there's other income that came into the city, isn't that right?
Sure, they're wallowing in money at City Hall. They're getting money. They bragged that they didn't raise the taxes when they passed their new budget, but nevertheless they got 11 more million in revenue from increases. Everybody's property tax, their property assessment
So
goes
we're
up.
paying,
Yes.
in a way.
And regarding defunding the police, the 10.5 full-time equivalents they cut from the budget is a small matter compared to the fact that they have 50 to 60 vacancies in the positions that they did authorize.
So we're supposed to have, I think we're authorized a 200-man or 200-person police force.
Correct.
And we're down 50. That's a 25% or more
Exactly.
loss of police personnel on the street.
Exactly.
Holy smoke. Well, there was also, we got COVID relief money, didn't we?
Yes, I monitor the city council meetings because I'm a candidate, and at their last meeting, they were talking about how they're going to spend the $25 million that the Biden administration sent them for COVID relief.
Are they going to use it to help businesses get started here in town?
Well, they have a list of things that they're considering, and one of them is minimum basic income. They're thinking about establishing a minimum basic income.
Oh, great. So that's only going to hurt our businesses that are already going under. I heard 60% of the businesses will never recover. And they want to put more trouble in line with the businesses, so they have to pay more?
It's just a shame what they're doing.
Oh, my gosh. This is unbelievable. Well, and we don't have any Republicans on the dais. They're all Democrats, right?
Correct.
Well,
they're a monolith of socialist or liberal.
They call it progressive. To me, it's a regressive. That word just does not fit to the new Socialist Democratic Party. You know, there used to be people that I could have voted for, even though I'm a Republican, John Arthur Smith, Mary Kay Papin in the state, but their own party took them out of office because they were too moderate. So now it's pure socialism. Our state is a welfare state, and they want to make it worse.
Well, one of the things they mentioned about the police was they put a bar graph up on the screen during a council meeting, and all the departments had a bar, and the police bar was the highest. And one of the councilors said, well, here's a graphic representation about how our priorities are wrong. All this money that's going to the police should be going to the people. And if that money were to go to the people, then we wouldn't have so much crime and we wouldn't need the police.
What people?
So this is on video. I mean, you can't make it up.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you're giving money to the people, you're probably creating more of a welfare state so people don't have to go to work. So maybe who knows what they'll do, but they're not going to be busy making money for the city through tax revenue. They're going to be taking money from the city. And the police, in the meantime, their hands are tied anyway. I mean, I wouldn't want to be a cop on the street now. Your life's in your hands.
Really?
So they're busy protecting themselves. Oh my gosh, this just gets worse by the minute. Well, universal income, unbelievable. Well, there's other issues going on too. Now, we got big issues going on in the school board. We have elections coming up on the school board, and hopefully we get some conservatives on the board because they're pushing this thing. It's called JBC. And it's called excellence and whatever in school, and
equity and excellence.
Yeah, but it's really critical race theory dressed up to look nice.
It's all based on your social, ethnic background and your language. So
it's unbelievable.
They want to validate everyone's family, social background, and their language background, and design curriculum based on the social and language background of the student.
Well, that certainly doesn't sound like equity to me. To me, it's like equity means all students are treated equally. Now, but critical race theory is going to point the finger at white students and say, you have been oppressive. These poor kids, you have been oppressive. Well, this is unbelievable. I mean, I went to a couple of these school board meetings, and it's like the school board doesn't want to hear anything. And they've already passed this, even without the people having any input in it. Well, look, Bill, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to fix all the problems of Las Cruces. Okay, folks, we'll be right back. Bill Beerman for City Council District 6.
If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. That's 866-372-3669.
Hi, I'm Ray Bamberg with Here on Earth. I would like to invite you for a free hearing evaluation to our office. We've been here in southern New Mexico for 34 years helping people hear better.
Do you suffer from rashes, dryness, flakiness, and thickness to the skin? 3A Research is conducting a trial of an investigational drug on plaque psoriasis. Subjects must be 18 years of age or older. This is an 8-week study. We will compensate you for your time and travel up to $225.
Enrolling participants now in Las Cruces. Contact our office at 575-288-1646 or visit our Facebook page at 3A Research or our website 3asites.com.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low-cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hi folks, welcome back to We the People. I'm Dave Gallus, your host. We're here at the Las Cruces studios on Las Cruces channel, and we are here with Bill Beerman, running for City Council District 3, Las Cruces City Council District 6, which covers east of I-25 and south of 70. So, Bill, we were talking about the problems in City Council. Biggie is not being financially responsible with our money, and they have a ton of it, but they don't seem to want to spend it on things that I think people are really worried about, which is our police coverage, our safety. What's more important than our safety? We talked about the school board issues, that they're pushing this thing. They don't call it critical race theory, but it's called JBC, which is equity and excellence, which to me, it's pointing the finger at a white child and saying, you have been oppressive, your ancestors have been oppressive, and we're going to fix it now. Which, could you imagine being a white student as a minority in a classroom with other kids that have been told that these people have all been oppressed? Now you're married to Martha, and she's very Hispanic. She tells me all about different foods that I want to try out, you know. But there was something you said when your kids were growing up in the household. What was that statement that you always had? Well,
We had the 4 boys, and every time one of them would walk through the door, the first thing they would hear was, "Lave sus manos," wash your hands.
Okay.
So, we had the Mexican culture in our home.
Okay.
And Martha is very fluently bilingual.
Yes.
And yet we also had the Anglo culture in the home.
Okay.
So when these school officials are talking about evaluating people's home culture, their ethnic culture, how do they handle a home that has both?
A biracial family in one household. And your children, what are they?
Well, the funny thing is, 3 of the boys were from Martha's first marriage, and they're half Mexican.
Okay.
And the one who's my son, totally ethnically white, you might say, although I think that Mexican Americans are white anyway. Hispanic is a language group. It's not.
I tell you, Bill, it kills me. It's like I see the Democratic Party pulling people apart, making an enemy. It's always about division. Sure. And me as a Republican, and I know yourself and Martha, it's always about unifying. It's like, well, I'm part of the Hispanic Conservative Outreach Committee, which is actually bringing in people, Democrats as well. It's like there's so many Hispanic Democrats that are Democrats only because of tradition. Their families have been Democrats, but they are traditional in their values. And I see so many of these people stepping up when we have issues like, well, we didn't even talk about critical race theory. I mean, we did talk about critical race theory, but we didn't talk about, the ranked choice voting. What a mess that was in the city elections past. We had nothing to say about that.
Sure.
No, go ahead. I mean, it was a violation of city charter from what I understand, and there's probably lawsuits that's going to be coming out to prove that.
My fellow candidate, Ronnie Cisneros, and we called on the city council at their last meeting to repeal ranked choice voting. And we pointed out that the result from the mayor election using ranked choice voting was bizarre.
Yeah, because the mayor didn't get the majority of votes to start with.
Everyone knew the mayor. He was in his 12th year in office.
That's enough.
Yet he only got 37% of the first place votes. But yet, after 9 iterations of reallocating everyone's second place votes, he ended up with another 4-year term with over 50%. Now, if he had been in a head-to-head election, a traditional election, and he got his 37%,
he wouldn't have been made mayor.
his opponent would have gotten 63%.
That's right.
The difference.
But even if it was divided to where nobody had the majority, it would be a runoff, and they'd have to do a re-election.
Right, head-to-head.
But, yeah, that's right. His opponent would have gotten 60-some%. We would have had a different mayor. You know, I know so many people that have come to me and said, what the heck is ranked choice voting? And it's like, well, this is how it works, and you have to work with it. That's before I understood that it was a violation of city charter. Even at that, though, Bill, the city council could have said, look, we're going to suggest this ranked choice voting, put it out in a, what do you call it, a question on as a vote. And the people could have decided, because everybody that I talked to said it was terrible, except the person that got elected. You know, so.
Well, even now, we shouldn't have to be calling on city council to repeal it. They should have recognized the results that it produced themselves and repealed it themselves.
Right, right. I know.
But they're content. It seems to help the incumbents, so they're content to just keep on with it.
Wow. Well, they're going to do it if they think it's going to benefit their electability. And people are not happy with this at all. So, folks, I'm telling you, you got to vote. The city council elections are historically very low voter turnout. But if you get out and vote, and this can be conservatives, it can be liberals, everybody should get out and vote, because this is your power. Absolutely. When you can compare what the city council has done, there's a history in the city council how they voted. And when Bill Beerman is telling you what his important issues are, police, financial responsibility of the city, spending our money properly, safety, security, our schools, what's more important than our children? So, you know, an equity to me in the critical race theory means that all children are treated equally.
Sure.
So.
And how do you evaluate what kind of a background someone comes from? You can have 2 Hispanic homes next door to each other. Those families aren't the same.
That's right.
And one of my friends recently told me that an individual she knows, a couple that she knows, they're Caucasian, and they adopted a black child. And when they found out about this new school district policy that's going to get in and evaluate everyone's family life and what their background is socially, racially, language-wise, they were very upset. You know, what business does the school district have going into a family and evaluating it or stereotyping it? And it doesn't even work in cases where you don't have a single ethnic background in a family.
To me, again, it's dividing. Now they're dividing families. Keep the government out of our families. It blows me away to think that a government's going to tell me they can raise my child better than I can.
Sure.
When my son was growing up, he went to public school. My daughters, from an earlier marriage, they went to Catholic school. My son went to public school. And when I tried to help him with his new math, I was causing problems. His grades would go down. So I thought, well, I trust the government to know what they're doing. No, that was a big mistake. I shouldn't have trusted the government. I knew how math works. I mean, I go to a store now, and if you give the cashier odd amount of change so that they can make it up and you'll get $1 or $5 back, these kids, they go, whoa, I don't know what to do. If it's not on the computer, I can't do it. There's no critical thinking. There's no thinking skills. So they call the manager. And sometimes the manager will get there and he doesn't know what to do. So he calls corporate. Maybe he can figure it out. It's like, this is ridiculous. So our education system is busted. New Mexico is the worst state in the union, pre-K through 12th grade. It's like That says something. And this
Sure.
state is run by Democrats. Bingo.
And if they're failing now, should we really be giving them more responsibility? Should we be giving them this social experiment to carry out when they're not capable of doing the normal school work?
I wouldn't think so, Bill. I think we got to get back to the basics. So our education system, our police department, fiscal responsibility in the city, what's more important than those three things? And it sounds like you're right on top of all of them. Now, I think you and Ronnie Cisneros is running for City Council District 5. I believe I saw you fellas at the school board meetings and at City Council meetings speaking up against critical race theory and the ranked choice voting. So I applaud that.
Well, yeah, I wasn't politicking. People say, well, you're running for city council. What are you doing at the school board meeting? And I didn't go there to campaign, and I didn't mention that I was a candidate. But I had been invited to go to that meeting to help protest and resist this new school policy.
And we should, absolutely. Now, some people might say, well, because this is a predominantly Hispanic community, I think 69%, 68% are Hispanic, that you just married a Hispanic lady for this. You had the forethought 31 years ago
Sure.
to marry.
Just went out and picked up an Hispanic wife for the campaign.
Oh, well, hey, that's nice of you, Bill. No, I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. Well, we're just about at the end of the show. I'm sure your name and information has been put up on the screen as we've been talking. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I appreciate you having me on, and I think that I have the perfect qualifications for the city council at this time, and I'd like to see every dime of taxpayers' money be used economically and efficiently so that we can get the most out of our money. We can do those things that some people would like to see their government doing, but right now the money is being squandered.
Right, I hear you, Bill. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Bill Beerman for Las Cruces City Council District 6, and folks, you got to get out to vote. Get this man elected, we'll get our city back. Okay, we'll see you next time on the Las Cruces channel at the Las Cruces studio.